Welcome to Via Phone. This is our first video, so congratulations on being one of our first viewers. Today I will be reviewing the Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 just came out about 5 days ago as of recording this video. Hopefully it's not too much after the recording that this gets published, but nonetheless, I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. So Nintendo Switch 2 just came out, and I've had some time to play with it, and I think it's pretty good. So let me just cover some bases. We'll be going over different things. I think we'll start with the build quality. As for the Switch 2 build quality, I would say that it's a lot nicer than the original Switch. It feels a lot more premium, and there's a nice heft to it actually. I do like the extra heftiness. The Switch 2 is still the same thickness as the original Switch. It is bigger, but that's mostly in terms of the controller's a little bit taller and the screen's a bit longer and also a bit taller. It's very nice to hold, it's very nice to use. I think it's definitely an improvement over the original Switch, but there's still some things that, I think will need either some, personal customization, like the controllers. I will touch that more in the comfortability segment of the console, maybe even the controller section, but for the build quality, the console feels very premium as in comparison to the original Switch, where it felt a lot more toyish. Like the whole rail mechanism, that felt kind of finicky, as anybody who had a Switch, you could shake the controller and it feel like weird. Here, I wouldn't recommend like trying to shake the controllers or Joy-Cons off the screen, but you can try and see for yourself. But it does feel a lot more comfortable. Since it is bigger, everything kind of scaled with it and made it a little nicer. I still have some gripes with it, and I think it can still be improved. But that isn't to understate the fact that it is already a pretty big and substantial improvement over last generation. Now for the controller. So, as you may know, the Joy-Cons are just a bigger, better, improved version of the original Joy-Cons. Well, maybe not improved for the fact that I think it's been confirmed now that the sticks on the Joy-Cons are not Hall effect. So that means that stick drift is still probably going to be a big problem. The controllers have a new mode. It's mouse mode. They still have gyro. I don't know if they got rid of the IR camera. I'm pretty sure they did. I don't see it on the controller because before you'd be able to see it, but they changed that up, and now there is a mouse mode, which is actually personally something that I thought it was cool when I saw it. It wasn't the craziest thing. I didn't really care too much, but I think it's cool simply for the fact that it allows you, especially for me, someone who, I will say this now, since we're talking about the controllers and we're in this segment, I can actually go on a full rant about this. I don't really like the Joy-Con sticks. They're too stubby for me, and there isn't the greatest range of movement on the sticks. So they're not only are they stubby, but they're also very kind of, to say it lightly, shitty. They're very not the best. I recently tried out the Lenovo Legion Go S, and that has basically almost, I'm not sure if it is full size, but it basically has full size, what it felt like full size sticks, which were really cool because I was playing Doom 2016 on it, and I didn't feel like, oh yeah, no, like this is gonna be a pain. Since Cyberpunk is now one of the launch games for the Switch 2, I was playing that, and I really felt that I wasn't gonna have the best experience if I only used the sticks. So, funny enough, and maybe they saw this and were like, okay, you know what we could do to sell our console even more? Add a mouse mode. So personally, enough about that. To finish my thought, the mouse mode I personally have liked. It has worked pretty well. To be fair, there isn't a lot of games that entirely support it right now, or I haven't even really tried many games that support it. I've only tried Cyberpunk, and I think the implementation there is actually pretty good. And I see myself I definitely see myself playing Cyberpunk, like the entirety of the game on the Switch, and using mouse mode for the entirety of it. For the ports that are on the Switch 2, it's not much. You have 2 USB-Cs and the headphone jack. There's a USB-C at the bottom and at the top, and then the headphone jack is also at the top. Obviously, then you have your game card slot, and other than that, you really only have 2 other buttons on the console itself. You have the power button and the volume rocker. Oh, I forgot. For the hardware of this console, I don't know the exact specs, I'm not gonna lie, but from what I've heard and from what I'm able to see, it's much more powerful and it's much nicer. But from the alleged comparisons, it's about a little bit more powerful than a PS4, but not as powerful as a PS4 Pro. So it's somewhere in that realm as a PS4, which honestly is really cool to have a PS4 on the go. But as consoles have continued going forward, we have Xbox Series X and we have PS5. Those consoles are obviously leagues ahead of the Switch 2 and, obviously its previous generational consoles like, the PS4 and Xbox One. So those consoles, it's hard to you can't really compare them, even though they are both, modern new consoles. It's a little hard. And even the Switch 2 loses to current, and not even just current, but new handhelds coming out this year alone. PC handhelds, to be exact. But to be 100%, my opinion on this is that I don't really care too much. About the power. Like I do prefer. The main thing that I wanted was from a Switch 2 was just make it more powerful than the Switch 1 and make it so that games can run at least 60 or just better, right? Make it better. That's what I wanted. I wanted the portability, I wanted the dock, I wanted all that, and I wanted it to be better. That's the main thing, and they delivered. So on hardware, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. Obviously, I already talked about the build quality. I think I forgot to mention, since we're just already on this, I forgot to talk about the screen. The screen on the handhelds, actually, it's not OLED, sadly, especially for the price. Some of you may not be happy with that. But the handheld screen is really nice. And personally, I already knew this. I will be using the Switch 2 in handheld mode primarily. I don't care about dock too much, other than for, maybe Mario Kart, maybe a new Zelda game. Any exclusives, I'd be interested in playing in handheld and on like a monitor or a TV. But for anything else really, like Cyberpunk, I have it on here, but I also own it on Steam, and I have a pretty good PC that can run it. So I'd rather just enjoy it on a PC that can run it at like 60 frames plus than a Nintendo Switch 2 that can run it at 40 frames. Which, yes, it's cool and it's an achievement, and I have done it to see it, but it's not anything, obviously we already have handhelds, like the Steam Deck and whatnot, that could do better. And we also have new handhelds, like it recently announced, I'm kind of excited for, and I will be hopefully doing a review on this channel about it. If there's no review, then it's going to be just a personal thing that I will get, just try out. I'm excited for the new Xbox Ally X, specifically, because it will have a new APU, I believe. That's what it is. I don't want to get into technical jargon and talk about something else. But nonetheless, the hardware of the Switch 2 is impressive, but also, for some, might be disappointing. In terms of software, at launch, we don't have a lot. We obviously have Mario Kart World, which is a brand new game from Nintendo. It's really cool. We haven't had a new Mario Kart in a while. But once again, if you're not a super heavily obsessed Mario Kart fan, it might not be for you. Personally, I like Mario Kart. I enjoy it. But it's not a game that I care too much about sinking hours and hours and hours in. For me, it's kind of more of a mindless, kind of like, I want to just play something casual. Let me just sit here, and race. Or if I'm with friends, I like playing, competitively against them. We use the Joy-Cons and we're, who's going to win. It's kind of like a party game. But Mario Kart World, to be honest, is not a review on the game, but just make 2 cents on it real quick. It's all right. It's not a bad game. I think Nintendo definitely tainted the launch of this new game by making it an $80 game and then trying to justify it and not like backing down or not just staying quiet, but trying to kind of saying that it's worth $80. But then obviously you have Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out in July next month, and it's not worth 80, it's worth 70. Even though I personally am a lot more excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza than Mario Kart World. Regardless, enough of rant. The game is alright. Racetracks could be better. I'm not the biggest Mario Kart like lover enjoyer. I don't really care. So it's just been alright for me. Other than that, the launch software hasn't been horrible. There's like maybe 10 games. Like a couple of them are not new really. Cyberpunk is like, I wouldn't say it's a must get, because if it's not your type of game, it's not your type of game. It's cool that it runs on this, and it is definitely an experience, and I will be playing the game maybe for the first time ever fully through on the Switch 2, but I don't think it's a must get. Personally, I am interested in getting Deltarune just fully because I've never played any of it, so that is something. I was looking at Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, I think it's called, but that also is a game that was already on the Switch, and I think it's also on other devices. So I think software for the Switch 2 isn't horrible, but it's just a bunch of ports, which is cool. I'm not going to complain because I personally don't mind the ports. I think it's cool, but I haven't really seen right now that there is a must-get software for the Switch 2, especially here at launch. Maybe when Donkey Kong Bonanza or when Metroid Prime 4 comes out, those will be, must-gets if you're a Nintendo fan and you want a Nintendo console. Other than that, the software is alright. It runs well. It looks good. But I don't think there's anything like a system seller. Mario Kart World is not it for me, and it's been tainted by Nintendo's greed. Thank you for staying and watching the whole video. This is our first video for the channel. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you did. We will try to pump out a couple more videos sometime soon. We don't really know because we are broke. So, getting some of these things to review will require us to save up for them and maybe even have to return some things. But nonetheless, thank you so much for watching, and please help us continue reviewing tech. We really do like this stuff, and we want to do more. So thank you.